Xi Jinping goes abroad. Li Qiang, Zhao Leji, and Li Xi each hide their own agenda. Hello, friends. Today is Saturday, April 19th, 2025. Welcome to this episode of Inside View on China. Xi Jinping is out visiting neighboring countries, and at home, a political vacuum has emerged. Li Qiang is in Zhongnanhai, holding down the fort. Theoretically, this would have been a golden opportunity to stage a political coup. It was also a moment when Xi would be feeling uneasy and insecure. Imagine if, just like in Thailand years ago, Li Qiang took advantage of Xi's absence, announced Xi was removed as party head, and barred him from returning. What a moment that would be. Or even just a declaration that Xi stepped down and Li Qiang took over. But alas, beautiful dreams can't change cold reality. Xi returned to Beijing right on schedule yesterday. As we fantasize about how things could go, let's not forget to look at what's really happening. What are these so-called standing committee members doing while Xi's away? What does it reveal about their mindset? One thing is obvious, they're scared. Scared of saying the wrong thing, scared of doing the wrong thing, worried that Xi might start overthinking things. So, during this period, Li Qiang and the others acted like they were walking on a tightrope, nervous, cautious, and full of fear. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Your support helps this small voice go further. And if you're driving, you can search Do When or Inside View on China on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to listen on the go. Let's get back to business. Let's start with Li Qiang. On April 17th, the State Council held its 13th special study session, focusing on how to manage public expectations and coordinate policy rollout. Li Qiang gave a speech emphasizing that managing expectations is now a core task for macroeconomic governance. He called for more targeted, timely, and effective policies to boost confidence and guide the economy. He said policies need to be bold, rolled out as a coordinated package, communicated better, and executed more forcefully. So both businesses and the public feel the actual impact. He also talked about pushing reforms, creating a predictable environment, and rallying all forces to support high-quality development. The whole speech revealed two things. First, just how much confidence in the economy has collapsed, and second, how desperate they are to rebuild expectations through technical means. Li Qiang stressed that major reforms and strategic direction are key to stabilizing expectations. He talked about speeding up the rollout of reforms, getting things done one by one, quickly and effectively, and using policy success to shape stable market outlooks. He also pushed for improving law enforcement, regulating power, and protecting the legal rights of all kinds of market players. But all of this was said in a tone that reflected urgency, even panic. So what does this tell us about Li Qiang? In my view, his speech reflected a pragmatic under-pressure posture. Let's break it down. First, he's clearly anxious about the economic mess. Although official language is always upbeat, phrases like managing expectations, breaking convention, and ensuring real gains are felt reveal deep worry, especially his call to act early and act fast. It shows they know confidence is slipping fast. If they don't act, they fear a systemic crisis could erupt. Translation: confidence has collapsed, expectations are down, investment is retreating, and consumption is shrinking. And real economic data probably looks much worse than what's publicly shown. So, what can he do? He's left trying to calm nerves and manage psychology. That's all that's left. Second, throughout his speech, he kept repeating Xi's name and the party central committee's decisions. That shows us clearly. Even as premier, he has no real power. He can't cross certain lines. All he can do is work within the framework, pushing for flexibility in a system that doesn't allow much of it. His talk of breaking conventions was really a plea for permission to act, without directly challenging the top. Third, as a technocrat with local governance experience, Li Qiang uses language like precision delivery, signal indicators, and policy timing. This is classic bureaucratic management speak. He's trying to rebuild confidence through messaging, not through system overhaul. But here's the problem. When the system itself lacks credibility, you can't fix expectations with PR. Li Qiang still seems to believe that with enough clever policy moves, trust can be restored. But he's avoiding the deeper issue. The public no longer trusts the system at all. Fourth, his whole speech was full of, "We must do this to achieve that," instead of, "We've done this and it worked." There's no substance, only slogans and intentions. That alone shows the current leadership has no real solutions. They're just buying time with words. So what's the bottom line? Li Qiang's speech is the classic posture of a firefighter stuck in the cracks of the system. He knows the economy is broken. He knows confidence is gone. But he's not allowed to touch the root cause, the political system. All he can do is spin circles around the vague concept of expectation management. It's not that he doesn't want to fix it. It's that the system doesn't allow him to. His speech proves one thing. China's economic problems are no longer just about the market. They're about trust in the system itself. It's a collapse of faith. Without political reform and loosening of control, no amount of expectation management will help. It's all just refined self-deception. Don't you sense that in his speech? That quiet helplessness? Now let's move on to Zhao Leji. Zhao has had a rough time recently. At the National People's Congress closing session in March, Xi stripped him of the right to preside over the meeting, officially due to a cold. During Xi's overseas trip, Zhao was sent out to inspect Jiangsu and Anhui. His mission? To promote Xi Jinping thought and show off whole process people's democracy. He visited communities, villages, businesses, and research institutions. He focused on legislative outreach, legal education, and the performance of People's Congress deputies. He emphasized that the NPC should serve the big picture, safeguard reforms with rule of law, and improve legal supervision and implementation. He also talked about upgrading local lawmaking, responding to public grievances, and building a modernized legislative process. At the end, he pushed for building 4 types of organs and improving internal construction of the NPC, all in the name of high-quality development. The whole speech served 2 purposes: show loyalty to Xi and the party, signal that the NPC is still relevant. Zhao's job now is to act loyal, show he's useful, and stay out of trouble. Let's be real, he's playing a role. He's not leading anything. He's a sidelined official pretending to be central. His trip was covered in great detail by Xinhua, but all it really said was, "I'm not in Beijing, you're overseas. I'm out in the field, I'm loyal." He kept emphasizing whole process democracy, but that's just code for please don't question our legitimacy. He knows people think the NPC is just a rubber stamp, so he's putting on a show, visiting farmers, holding meetings, trying to give the illusion of public participation. He's trying to keep the system on life support. He talks about strengthening legislation and supervision, but he has no real power to shape policy. Everything is carefully limited. He's just trying to make sure he doesn't get blamed for anything. He emphasizes party discipline, reminds everyone the NPC won't step out of line, and basically says, "I'll guard this patch of land. I won't mess up. I won't challenge you." It's textbook behavior under authoritarianism. Keep your head down, stay in your lane, signal loyalty. Let's wrap this up. Zhao's speech talks about democracy and the rule of law, but what it really shows is a senior official trying to survive on the fringes of power, neither doing much nor saying much, but making sure he doesn't disappear. He's like a guard dog barking in front of a gate that's already been closed off. "I'm still here," he shouts. "I'm still loyal. I'm still steady." What do you think? Is he really upholding the system, or just putting on a show? And now, Li Xi. While she was abroad from April 14th to 17th, Li Xi, head of the Central Discipline Commission, went to Hunan. His role is the knife, the enforcer. And during Xi's absence, his job is to remind everyone, we are still watching. We are still in control. He loudly repeated party slogans: 2 establishments, 2 upholds, political supervision, and even praised Mao Zedong and the Red Legacy. He sent a clear message. Even if Xi is away, I, Li Xi, am holding the line. He knows there's unrest inside the party, especially among mid-level cadres and retirees. They see the economic collapse, the diplomatic isolation, the loss of public confidence. And some are beginning to wonder, is this really sustainable? Li Shi's message is for them too. Don't even think about it. The knife is still sharp. We are still watching. He talked about cracking down on local corruption, encouraging public supervision, and fighting wrongdoing at the grassroots. But this isn't about good governance. It's about tightening control. It's a warning. No matter how unhappy society gets, we'll crush dissent with the anti-corruption machine. What's more dramatic is that Li Shi went to Shaoshan, Mao Zedong's hometown, and urged cadres to embrace self-revolution. Translation? He's invoking Mao to prop up Xi's collapsing ideological authority. Let's be honest. Nobody believes in Xi Jinping thought anymore. Not the public. Not even party cadres. So now they're dusting off the old altar, Mao Zedong, to try to keep the party's flame alive. When a regime loses faith, it turns to ghosts. That's what this is. In short, this was a political show and a confession of institutional anxiety. Xi goes abroad. Li Shi immediately rushes to the countryside, quoting Mao, waving the banner. That means they no longer believe the system can operate on its own. It has to be guarded like a trench line. But here's the truth. The real danger is not those who oppose Xi. It's that no one actually believes the system can go on. What do you think of Li Shi's role? Does he really believe in Mao, or is he just using Mao as a shield to defend Xi's line? All three men, Li Qiang, Zhao Leji, Li Xi, put on a show while Xi was abroad, but not one dared take a real step forward. Li Qiang tried to manage expectations while the economy crumbled. Zhao Leji put on a grassroots show with no real power. Li Xi invoked Mao not to fight corruption, but to maintain fear. This tells us one thing. At the very top, no one has real room to act. No one really believes in the system's future. All that's left is fear-driven performance and ritualized loyalty under a shrinking circle of power. Every standing committee member is a mirror, reflecting the weakness and dysfunction within. It's not that no one wants change. It's that no one dares. It's not that no one knows the problem. It's that everyone is playing guard and afraid they'll be next. This isn't stability. It's paralysis. This isn't unity. It's a silent pact born of fear. And what this regime fears most is that people are starting to see through it all. When the myth shatters, when the illusions end, when loyalty fades, China will awaken. And I believe that awakening is not far off. That's all for today's program. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching.